Indoor grown in Hamilton. Let's go. That's why this shit was $4 each of these little boxes. This better be the best pesto I've ever had in my life. This is dangerous. I see why Drake drinks these now. Hey, listen, no hate. It's a hot summer day. You're not trying to be drunk all day long. So white wine spritzers. Listen, if there is anybody that can get drunk from noon to 5 and still pick up their kids, it's white women. But then they don't pick up their kids, they send somebody else to pick up their kids. And then they keep getting drunk.
But that's the key though. You gotta keep on keeping on.
I'm channeling the inner soccer mom today. Most basil pesto recipes depend upon how much basil you have, and then you just go off of that. Each of these packages say they're about 2 ounces, so I'm just gonna use both of them. Both of these packages were $4 a piece because I live in Ohio and I don't grow my own basil, so me, right? Like, that's exactly what it was. That's what I learned. So if you don't watch any of the rest of this episode, just know that growing your own basil at home is the best way to get basil. See how like gross and green that's getting? Like it's getting a darker green. It still looks good, but I'm gonna have some top tier greeny pesto that we'll color compare at the end. So we're gonna get that water boiling for the basil. One of my favorite chefs, Gennaro Contaldi, an Italian guy, he says don't wash your basil, it makes the flavor go away. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't wash my basil. And then the other people say, hey, wash your basil and then blanch it with a little bit of baking soda because that will keep the color. So I guess it's just kind of what you're looking for. If you're gonna use all of the basil and eat all of the pesto in one day, then maybe don't wash it. Maybe try to do it so that the oxidization doesn't happen. But obviously this is gonna go in some containers and I'm gonna use it on literally everything. So I wanna see what I can do to make that last longer. Also, I'm just gonna take the trash out. So we didn't super wash this basil, we just hit it with a nice little rinse. While that water is coming to a boil, we can kind of blend up everything else that we got before we put the basil pesto in there. I am gonna go with just a little bit of shredded Parmesan. You can use the Parmesan cheese that everybody uses from Kroger's, like the shaker one. This one's just a little bit nicer because I figured I'd spend a little bit more as this is the one that's gonna go into the pesto. I also have some extra, but you don't have to be bougie and a loser like me. You can put whatever Parmesan cheese you want. You can get the actual Parmesan too. That ain't bougie. Like the bougie is if I had like the half a wheel and I was like shredding it myself. That is super bougie. I'm gonna go with pretty much probably all of these pine nuts. It's only 2.5 ounces. These are also mad expensive, by the way. Like, if you grow your own pine nuts or have your own like local source pine nut guy, like keep them close because pine nuts at a big store is rough. When you blend your pine nuts, a little salt, a little pepper, and some oil together, you want it to end up looking kind of like a vinaigrette is how it's gonna. Before you put the basil in, that's what you kind of want it to look like a moisturizer almost. What you don't want to do is just put the leaves in and overrun your blender because you'll burn the pesto a little bit. You want to kind of soak it up a little bit. And we'll just hit a couple. Little couple shashashas, and then we'll add just a little bit of oil at a time, little oil at a time until we reach the consistency that we want. We'll make sure everybody gets nice and married together down here. Already though, that pine nut, that smell, it smells like cereal. If you went to a public school, it smells like just like Kix. If you guys remember Kix cereal, it smells like Kix a little bit. But that's good. That's what you want. Our water's not boiling yet, so we're just around at this point. I'm actually really stoked to see what this does. Like, it might just be stupid and not work at all. It's Tuesday, but feels like a Friday. Honestly, this is awesome. I might drink these all the time. This is great. This is right up my alley. It's like just enough carbonation, just enough alcohol, just enough flavor. I'll be the spokesperson for white wine spritzers. When you think white wine spritzer, you think drunk chef. You think D-Dog Smooth for the white wine spritzies. Teaspoon of baking soda into your boiling water. That's all it takes, according to the intranet. And you're in business. You just want to make sure that everything touches each other, talks to each other nicely, and then we'll come right back out with it. Quick little 30 seconds, you know, nothing crazy. God, that really is bringing the smell out of the basil. If you could smell this right now, me. Wonder if we could do something with this water in the future. I'm sure, but obviously I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm sure that you can do something with it.
You could probably use the water for like boiling the noodles.
I was gonna do that. I was gonna use some water for boiling it. You know what? I'll just do a little halfy. If somebody asks why the water is tinted green, it's because we got the basil in there. Jashawn, you might be a genius with that. We're just gonna go right in here with our blanched basil. Just right in, get all of that. I'll even put a little bit of that water in there too. Get it all in there. Now let's get it all together. See what that tastes like. Ooh. Ooh. That's good. Just looking off of judgment here, I probably could have gone with one more box of that basil, but again, it was $4, okay? So, chill on me. I ain't rich. Let's see how that works out for us, huh? Let's get a quick taste of that. It's pretty rich. I think we can thin it up a little bit more because it's still a little thick. But wow, that tastes delicious. I mean, wow, oh wow. You can never have too much basil in your basil pesto. Yep.
But like, you know.
In a good way.
It smells really good.
Yes,
so, like,
in a good way, it looks like baby puke. Oh wow, also I completely forgot to put the garlic in this. So let's definitely do that. Let's put that back, yeah. I was like, why am I not tasting a certain thing? And I'm like, oh, it's the garlic that needs to be in there. Where's my knife? Right here. Just bust those bad boys open real quick. That's a big clove too, so we'll just call it at that. Now this should taste like basil pesto, baby. That's 1012% my fault. Every true blood Italian out there that's like, where the is the garlic? Oh my God, what an idiot, Dawden. Took the blender part out, so I'm gonna need to put that back in. And rinsed it off. Wow, he's really just off his rocker today, ladies and gents. Now that smells like mother basil pesto, ladies and gents. We ain't around now. Oh yeah, oh yeah, get your finger in there. Tastes very fresh, I'll tell you that. Had to make 8 trips for that basil. If there's anything I want anyone to take home from this cooking today, it's that fresh basil makes all the world of difference. I'm a real stickler myself for like pasta texture. Like if the pasta is too squishy, if I overcook it, I will have to throw the whole dish away. I'm serious. Any pasta that if I make it at home and I f it up like that, like I just am like, well, throwing it all away. Like thank God pasta is 70 cents a box because I am throwing all of this away. Let's just really quick, again, no oxidation in the fridge yet, so I can't be too full of myself. But just color-wise, green, clear, creamy, green that somebody definitely put some food coloring in. Like, it's just night and day. Basil, canola oil, spinach, garlic, Parmesan cheese, citric acid, absorbent acid, green coloring, culture, salts, enzymes.
Oh, there it is, folks.
They color their green, y'all. I'm not trying to lie to you. It's not a bad thing. Like, you're not gonna die. They're doing it so that it stays green longer because that's a shelf-stable basil pesto. So, like, The goal for them is, hey, if you're not gonna crack the lid on this for a month, we still want it to look like this right here. But once you crack that lid, it's not gonna hold its green at all. And so, you know, here we are. But let's get this chicken started. That's just a beautiful glass of white wine spritzer. You can hear the kids getting out of the minivan as it's being poured. This tastes like a higher tax bracket. This is one of the actual cooking techniques that I developed myself. I don't think I actually developed it. I'm sure there are much better chefs out there that have also done this, but it's the one that I thought of to myself first, and I haven't stopped doing it. And it's, if you have raw chicken and you're gonna season it, just use a Ziploc bag. Just use a gallon size Ziploc bag, put all your chicken in there, then put the seasonings in there, then just squeeze it all together, and it just saves on so much cleanup on your hands, on your counter, everything. If you can, it doesn't matter what kind, color, or variety, use gloves. Along with the Ziploc bag thing, a nice gloved hand just cuts down on all the washing, all the extra that you have to do. Look at that, painless, brainless, and now, just for a little fun, now we're gonna take a little lemon. Actually, this is a Mondo lemon, so there is nothing little about this lemon. We're just gonna go all over these guys, because that's just gonna bring out so much flavor.
Flavora.
I'm just checking all this out, Blue, because I'm amazed at my son's culinary skills. He's yet to come to my house and cook anything for me.
I will happily do so. Now that I get...
How many times you said that and not done it? Or you came around a few more times than that.
You're right, you're right. I wasn't even that good, though.
To my friend Monty. Rest in peace, brother.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Little turtle.
The turtle man.
Shout out these people at home, you know? It's fun to, Dad's here, so he gets the fun experience. It's fun to talk to this like there's hundreds of people that are gonna watch it, but there's a single camera right there. So you gotta talk to it like there's people, but there's nobody over there. You just gotta know that once it's done, there will be people that watch it.
What he said.
A little bit of that lemon zest in there, a little bit of lemon juice.
A little emerald. Bam!
Right? Boom, bam, bop.
Whoa. Outstanding.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hey, gabba gabba doo.
Thank you.
Good stuff, man.
Let's go. Thank
right.
you. Thank you. I'd love to hear it.
My kid can cook.
Yeah, there we go. So you guys just saw us make a basil pesto straight from scratch. I mean, I had to drive halfway across the city just to make it for you, but you saw it. We got to taste it, it was delicious. You guys got to meet my dad and my dog in one episode, so that's a double entendre for you. We grilled some chicken, we made a nice little hearty meal. So make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you share it with about 10 to 12 people in that Bible study class that you guys like hanging out in. I know you guys talk about the Bible a lot, so make sure you pass this one around. And what's the last thing? Make sure you comment on the video and let us know what your favorite part was. Look at that, see?
The kid can cook.
There we go. That's I don't even need to say anything else.
Gabba gabba doo.
There we go. This is sign off. Bingo.